Hi, my name is Angel Bala, and as I said, I'll be discussing the performances of One Vision Youth Dance 2024. As I am going in chronological order, as I previously stated, the next piece is jazz. One of the pieces I think that I have progressed so highly on, and as I have always done, I'm going to start on my progression. So I really enjoyed how I marked my commercial piece, viewing the rows and how I was located and seeing exactly how the choreographer used me. I feel like that does show a marker of progression. So I'm going to do the same in this piece. In jazz, in the previous year, in 2023, I was definitely located towards the back. I knew that I knew the movements, however I didn't understand how they use the quality of jazz technique, and I think that's what got me placed in towards the back, and it took me a while to even get the movement material and know it off by heart. However, this year I was placed in the second row for most of the piece. I think for all of the piece actually. Yes, it was for all of the piece. And I always enjoyed looking outwards to the audience. I understood how to now apply the jazz technical application, as I've previously mentioned, Elise Adderscott said that I progressed with. So marking it with these different rows, you can see how the choreographer has used me. How have I accomplished this year, and how have I progressed, and how have I used my audience during the performance? Well, let's go into that. So interpretive skills, a huge one was projection. This is an aesthetically pleasing dance that is always a crowd pleaser with the audience. They love the jetés, the kicks, they love the jazz, and especially since this artistic vision was to showcase this showgirl, sassy, sparkling pink piece. It was just, it's always going to be a crowd pleaser, especially if it's done right. And me and all the dancers, we worked so incredibly hard to make sure it turned out right. So a huge one again is projection. We had to project for every single movement. During the rehearsals, Craig Coombs, the artistic director, he came in and he said to us how our levels aren't up there, our energy isn't up there, and by the show, we need them to be up there. And I believe we accomplished that. I believe every single one of us accomplished that, including myself especially. I think I always highlighted facial expressions, however, I don't think I always maintained them during the rehearsal process. But during the performance, I do. I felt like having the audience there and feeling them, I was able to gain their energy and I was able to give it all back and double it. It's not just a smile for jazz, you know, it's a smile, but then you've also got the like oohs and ahs, because you're a showgirl, you have to perform it. And he said that you can't, Craig Coombs said, the artistic director, how can you do a full out kick if you're not going full out in your character? How can you be this sassy showgirl if you're not giving me that sassy showgirl? And he was right, and after he said that I understood what he meant. So we drilled these pas de bourrée kicks, and I understood what he meant because I tried it with the facial expressions, and my kick didn't reach very far. I think my foot turned in during it, and I felt slumped, but after giving it that energy, I felt uplifted. I controlled my turnout, and my kick reached much higher than it did in the first time. So I continued with this from that rehearsal on. I believe that was the week before the showcase, and on the performance day then, the development was huge and I loved it. I loved feeling it, channeling this sassy showgirl energy. When can I become a showgirl? Well, doing this performance. So, also the quality of movement. I understood what movements I needed to be performing. So the quality now, that's what I had to work on. Technical skills, obviously turnout, obviously. But also there are isolations, there are whole body positions, and there are extensions. There were many pirouettes with a layout. So I'd never performed this movement before. So getting the refinements correct, as jazz is all about the unison refinements, making sure everyone looks the same, doing the same movement, but however, everyone's getting the refinements correct because it can't be off a beat. So this pirouette, at the end of, we'd only do one pirouette, and then we'd come in, we'd close ourselves in, and then we'd shoot out. Elise Adiscott did say, the head choreographer of this piece, that I was flexibly restrained. And I had to work on that. I wanted to work on that, but this was a week before the show, so I know it doesn't matter how much I worked on that, it would take a lot more time than 1 week. So I worked with what I got, and I made sure that I performed this movement to the best of my capabilities, and pulling out a facial expression to all the stops and getting that refinement correct. She wanted us to all come in to look like a little ball and then explode. And that's what I managed to do. I managed to get that control to do that and accomplish that and succeed in that. So the unison refinements were also heads. So heads is a huge thing in jazz. Are we looking down? Are we looking up? Are we looking to the side? And there were so many. A main one, a key one, was updated a few days before the show. We are in a cluster near the beginning of the performance. You'll see it very clearly. And we're all performing in unison. We do a hip hop, and then we do a pas de bourrée. Now, doing this pas de bourrée, our hands are placed on the hips like this, and we put our head down like this. And because we have a high ponytail of a plait, our plait flicks forward. And just seeing that all happen at the same time, like one, it just shows that refinement and that what is essential and vital in jazz and what you need. So getting that on the one, every single time, maintaining it, was huge. And we did it. Together, collaborating as a team, doing it on performance day, counting in our heads, enabled us to do that. I remember all week, all we went through were arms. Arms, where were they? Like I just discussed in the cluster, the arms are here. I knew exactly where they are because we drilled it into us so much. And I'm so glad, because it wasn't even like, where are my arms right now? It was second nature. It was automatic. And that was amazing. And that was just performing to an audience and not having to worry because I'm just naturally doing it. The rehearsals were so intense, but so amazing. And as I began to go full out, it allowed me to understand what I was capable of, because I wasn't always going full out, but when I did, and then maintained that, especially for the intensive rehearsal period, I didn't understand why I hadn't been going full out this entire time, but that's a target for me. Doing the next showcase that I have, make sure that I go out full out all the time, because imagine how much I could have developed if I had. The impact, the visionary, as I've said, is this showgirl sassiness. Channeling this. We wanted control, we wanted everything aligned. I remember, as I previously mentioned, these kicks, the pas de bourrée kicks, they're repeated on many occasions. They have to be on an angular, they were always on a diagonal direction, they have to be in turnout, there have to be a kick, not a lift where your hip pops and your hips aren't aligned. And you have to have facials. I had to have control. I did have control, but it took me a lot to get control. But I'm glad I did. I'm so happy to see how I've progressed during this dance and doing this performance, and it's been such an accomplishment for me. And I'm so excited to see where I go with jazz in the next year and see how I progress even more. Thank you. This is all I have in jazz. I hope you enjoy.